All right. So I'm going to give you just a teeny bit of my story, and then I'm just, like I said, I'm just going to give you the tips of how I became successful with this company and then where to find stuff. So I'm going to be sharing my screen. So hopefully most of you are on the computer where you can see my screen because I want to show you where to find stuff, okay? So I joined Plexus 2.5 years ago. Actually, it'll be 3 years in March. And when I joined, I was a little bit different than most people. Most people join, like I said, because they just want the products and they want the cheapest rate. Is anyone else? Can you guys, like, anyone join because they wanted the cheapest rate for the products? Okay, that's most people. Honestly, most of the diamonds, Janet and Amber, my sponsors, who are diamonds in the company, that's what they said, and so that's very common. Um, but for myself, I was struggling financially. So when I saw that my friend Amber said that she made $1,100, something snapped in my mind and I thought, oh my goodness, because I was a stay-at-home mom and we were really struggling. So I thought, okay, if she can do it, I can do it and I will figure it out. So that was my mindset. So step one is your mindset. What is your goal? So if you want to type it in, I would love to hear from you. But why did you join? Like, what is your first goal? My first goal, again, was to cover my products. But also, after I did that, and I did it honestly within just a few days of joining. After that, my first goal was to hit silver, which means you get 3 people on your team. So I wanted to hit silver, and I wanted to have 500 PV. So PV means personal sales. My first month, that was my first goal. So you have to decide what your goal is and why. Okay. So yes, awesome, Jeannie. So you need to decide that. And whatever it is, I mean, that's what's going to keep you driven. So I'm just going to tell you what mine was, okay? My first goal, like I said, was to be silver. I wanted 3 people on my team, and I wanted 500 PVs. That's about 3-4 customers plus my own order. So that's what I was kind of hoping for. 3 or 4 customers, 3 ambassadors. That was what I was hoping for. My first month, I actually had 11 people on my team, and I had about 1,200 PV. It is possible to do that. Now, at that time, I didn't think it was that big of a deal at all because I didn't know. I kind of set the standards high for myself, and I didn't know what was normal, what was not normal. So I'm going to tell you how I did that. So my first paycheck was actually over $700, but then I won a contest, and my contest, we have all kinds of fun contests, was I won a $500 contest. So I actually made about $1,200 my first month, and I've never made less than $1,000 with Plexus ever. Okay, so awesome. I love seeing your goals here. So you got to keep that in front of you, okay? So there's 4 things that I did, and this is what I'm going to go over with you, and I'm going to show you where I find stuff, okay? Let me just also say, when I joined, Amber, you guys know who Amber is on Slim Sisters? Okay, she's my sponsor. She's the one that I went to her website, and I joined, and I did that because we were college roommates. I trusted her, and like I said, I saw that she had lost about 50 pounds, and I also she said she made about $1,100. So I was like, that's all I need to know. That is literally the only thing that I knew, by the way. I had no idea what the products worked. I had no idea what they were. I thought it was just weight loss. I didn't even know they were natural and healthy. I knew nothing. I just knew that she made $1,100 and she lost 50 pounds. Okay. So, but I was still really successful. So it doesn't matter necessarily about the training you get or who you join or who tells you what to do and who holds your hand. What matters is you and your mindset and what you want. Not everyone's going to have the same goals. If your goal is to get your products paid for, that's going to be super easy. Okay. So number 1, there's 4 things. I'll tell you what they are and then we'll go through them. Okay. Here's the 4 things I did. Number 1 is I trained myself. I think this is a part that a lot of people skip. And if you want to write this down, awesome. But this is what it is. Number 1, I trained myself. Number 2, I reached out to people. Number 3, I followed up with people. And number 4, I built my passion. If you do those 4 things, to me, that seems pretty easy. But honestly, once you get into it, it's not easy for everybody. And you know where the factor comes in is you, because we all have the same products. We all have the same compensation plan. Where we start to vary is ourselves and the belief we have in ourselves and the desire if we want to do this or not. So it truly, I want you to know that it's up to you. So if you're hearing thoughts in your mind like, oh, I could never do that. Oh, that's a lot of work. Oh, then kick them out of your brain right now and you focus on yes. And that's what I had to do. And let me just tell you, there was nothing special about me. We made $18,000 as a family of 5. We were poor, is in American terms anyway. But we were really struggling. I was very overweight. I had horrible migraines, never felt good. We lived in this tiny little, very rundown mobile home, 600 square foot, and we had just switched churches. I felt like I didn't have as many friends. Like, I felt like I had not much influence, not much to offer. So all those things, and I was homeschooling 3 kids, all those things that we tell ourselves why we can't do this, I'm too busy, I don't have the money, I don't have the influence, those are just lies from the devil. So I just want you to throw them out right now, okay? So I decided if I fail at this, it will not be for lack of effort. So number one, it's going to be your mindset, okay? So let's talk about training ourselves. First of all, how many of you got one of these beauties? Okay? I love this thing, and you guys are so blessed because this is not even what we first had. This is awesome. The one that I got, sadly, I didn't even look at it. I put it up on a shelf for some reason and never even like opened it up. I have no idea why. But this right here is incredible. So honestly, if you just open it up, look through it, I mean, come on. Quick start guide. Super easy. This thing tells you what to do. I mean, they even got a checklist, okay? So you do this, and I mean, that's it. You just, very, very good, Tammy. Users with the potential. Okay, so number one, be a product of the product. What does that mean? I'm not going to go through each of these, but that means be consistent, okay? And Stacy, before we started, she was like, okay, I had a friend, she tried for 2 days, she got a headache, now she's ready to quit. Okay, let me tell you, if you're having trouble with the products, or if your customers or new ambassadors are, you need to check up on them. You need to reach out to us because I'm telling you, there is a thing called die-off. Especially those of you who just joined, I want you to know this is real. I mean, ask your doctor, look it up. But die-off, basically, our products get to the root causes of health issues. Everybody can benefit from our products. And if you're unsure, if you're on a medication or you have someone is, by all means, have the doctors look at the ingredients. But I'm telling you, these are really good products that I give to my children. People need them. So if somebody's having some kind of reaction or something to it, it's because they are having die-off symptoms, and that really means they need them probably more than anyone. So what that is when you go in and you're getting to that, well, I don't know if I'm allowed to say candida, so I'm not going to say candida. I'm going to say fungus overgrowth. So if you get to that fungus overgrowth in your gut, which most of us have, and it starts releasing and it's breaking that up and it's coming out, you're probably going to feel worse before you feel better. Some things to combat that is to take your product slowly. Start with one product. Stacy, she might even want to do half a slim, and that's fine too. Some people are very sensitive to certain things. So start slow. And then, so I would start with the slim, a couple days later.
Can she take half and close it and take the other half the next day?
Yeah, she can do that. Yeah. So then your bio cleanse, do that for a couple of days. Start with 2, do that. Then maybe your probiotic, do that. So Julie, I see Julie's on here, Julie Panila, she made a video actually that explains exactly how to take those products, and I believe it's in our files. So anyway, that's going to be number one. When it says be a product of the product, be consistent. Take your products, drink your water, do the things that you're telling other people to do. And if you're having issues, reach out. Check on your people to make sure they're not. And if you have questions, ask. That's what we're here for. Okay, so training is what we're on. I kind of got off on that. But just follow these steps. I mean, one by one, look at the steps. But go through this and honestly call your sponsor. Or when you get a new person on your team, call them and ask and go through this. If you're local, meet them. Go through it together. And this right here, I mean, it's awesome. Just read through it. So for myself, when I did those 4 things, this is what I did, because for me, I was a stay-at-home mom and I was homeschooling my kids and I had to block out time. So you choose what you want. Some people can do it 30 minutes a day. Some people are going to do it in and out of their regular life, whatever. You have to do what works for you and what's not going to hurt your family. Families first. If you reach the top of this company and you have done it at the expense of your family, or your children, your husband are not your biggest fans, that probably means you're off balance, and I'm telling you, it's not worth it. So you're not successful if you lost your family in the process. So I'm going to tell you right now, have that conversation with your husband and your children, or your wife if there's any men on here, and talk about that. Okay, can I block out? Will it affect you? How would this be if I blocked out 30 minutes a day? Or, you know what I mean? Just be in communication. It's going to look different for everyone. So for myself, what I did is, and I'm going to be honest with you, I was off balance in the beginning because Plexus is so much more fun than dishes and laundry. I'm just going to tell you. So you've got to be careful, because what I was doing in the beginning is I said I was going to do it from 9 to 11. That was my work time. But when you're getting a bunch of messages during the day, it's pretty easy. Oh, he's going to finish this real quick. Let me check it real quick. And then husband comes home and you're like, oh, good. Here's the kids. I got to answer these messages. Oh, I'm sorry, the dishes aren't done. I don't know where you don't have any clean underwear. Sorry. Like that's not okay. So you have to come up with balance. So what I did, let's just say, but I was from 9 to 11. That was my work time. And I chose, like for me, again, I did it for the business too. So I was working this business. So from 9 to 11 is when I would work my business. And I would block out maybe 20 minutes for training. So I'm going to show you what I did right now, okay? So I'm going to share on my screen. Hopefully you guys can see it. And I'm going to tell you where I found my training. In the Success Kit, yes. But I told you I didn't really look at my own Success Kit, which I should have. So let's see. Let me get to Facebook. Okay, most of you, if you're not on a team page, you need to be in a team page. I would suggest the person that you like when you get a new person, add them to your sponsor, but add them to at least one jewel page. Jewels mean emerald, sapphire, and diamond. So I am probably your closest jewel. I'm an emerald. And then above me is my friend Amber and Jana, and they are diamonds. So it would be smart for you to add your people to one of our pages and, your own upline page. So I'm going to use my page as an example. Okay, so it's there on the side. I went to my pages. See these little tabs right here? Okay, so what I did, and I didn't have my own page yet, but I have Sunday Superstars, I have Slim Sisters, I've got Destination Diamond. These are all my uplines, Journey to Gems. I've got all these, I've got too many groups, but those are my favorites because, those are the ones I use the most. So I would go to the files page right here, files thing. Now look, there's tons of them. You're like, okay, I cannot read all that. Well, I also would get overwhelmed and I want to know everything yesterday. But what I did is I decided I'm going to read 2 a night, okay? So I would just go, okay, look, there's something. And I would just kind of look through ambassador letter. What's this? Okay, just pull it up, click on it. If you're on your phone, it should be able to come up as well pretty easily. But, this is basically a letter to send to new ambassadors. So these are just a collection of things that helped me with my business. Every upline is going to be a little bit different. This computer is kind of old, so I apologize. Anyway, that one's choosing not to come up. Anyway, you can see, the different things, Plexus scripts, like whatever it comes out to, that's fine. But I just decided I'm going to read 2 a night. I'm going to pick a page and I'm going to read 2 of their files a night and I'm going to learn something. So that's one thing. This right here, this video toolbox, this is pretty cool. If it'll open. Okay. So this is really awesome, and this is something you probably should send to your, sorry. Oh, here we go. Okay, so here's a sample new ambassador letter. And it's just some things on how to get somebody started off correctly. You can email it to them, so that's what I would do. That's just something I used in the beginning that I just would email to people. And now it's actually, I already have my email that I could just forward. But there's so much information in here. Look at all this, fungus and candida, the triplex video, These are a lot of really good products. This is an awesome resource. It's called Video Toolbox. This is something really awesome to send to your newest ambassadors, especially if they're just trying to get the discount, because you want them to have success with the products. Okay, so this is just one. Okay, there we go. So there's all kind of welcome call. I mean, pick 2 or 3 and just read it each night. So that's what I did when I started training myself. I went here, and here's where else I went. I mean, this is literally what I did. Okay. I went to, let's see, plexus. Oops. Okay, I would go plexus. Sorry. How do we get paid, or whatever. Whatever I felt like looking up. Okay, and then I'll tell you who I found. This woman right here. This was my mentor. She didn't know it. Okay, this is Sonia Dudley. Now we have others, but in the beginning, I literally would watch this lady's videos. This is who trained me. Every day, I would watch 1 or 2 of her videos. She's got a ton of them. So a new ambassador now. This is really good. Okay, so there's another resource for you. So whatever it's going to look like for you, scrape out, 10, 20 minutes a day and learn something. So make it your goal to learn something. Okay, so that's training. All right, now let's talk about the next thing. And train again, sorry, the next, you know what, let me tell you one more thing about training really quickly, because this is actually one of the most important. We have something even more now. Before, when I was here, when I first joined, we didn't have all the same resources. So that's what I did. And again, I kind of just figured that part out on my own. But in your website, okay, I'm going to go to my website real quick. I'm going to show you guys. Where are we? Let me share screen again real quick to show. Sorry, baby alive, lovely. Okay. Okay. If you guys haven't logged into your website yet, you need to. Okay, so I'm just going to go to login. I think I'm just going to use my husband's. Okay, here is another thing that you could do. First of all, this right here, the training plan, if you haven't done this, apparently, he's only done a little bit, that's okay. So when you finish it all, it's going to say completed. So these are the things he still has to go over. So this right here is going to be a nice thing to train on, and just go through it at your own pace. But here's another thing. Here's some training. You've got the back office training. Success on demand we'll come back to. Tools, okay? This right here is awesome. This is awesome for training. Okay, go to library. There's everything you ever need to know. If you're a details person, you will love this. Okay, first of all, right here, anything you want to know about is right here. Okay, compensation, they'll have the chart, they'll have everything you need to know. Something that I really loved, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, they've got something called knowledge base. I love knowledge base. It gives you everything you need to know about the product. Or look at this. Compensation, opportunity calls. These are calls that you could send to people. I actually went through that when I first started. But look, each product you can learn whatever, everything you want to know about that. Where we go, Plexus Slim. You do not permission to carry out this action. I don't know what that's about. Maybe they're changing something. Anyway, typically it'll come up there. Okay, let's look back over here. But anyway, so this is where you're going to find out tons of information and just play around with it. Don't be afraid. Like, go through what are each one of these tabs. Like, just go through it. Okay, communications. Was the shareables. That was pretty cool. Okay, shareables. This is really awesome too. This is going to give you all kinds of like triplex. They have all these cool things, and you can actually send these to people. They have our clinical study facts right here, some of the results before and after tool. So there's time to like play around with your back office and just learn. So I don't know what job you have now, but when I was a teacher, they did not just throw me into my classroom without any training. I went to college for 4 years, and then I was a student teacher, and it's a process. Like even my first job, I worked at Wendy's. They didn't just throw me in front of the cash register. I had to figure out, someone taught me how to do it. So the thing with network marketing is you're an independent ambassador, and we're here to help you, but it also takes some self-motivation, okay? So that was a lot on training, but I just wanted to show you where to find some things. YouTube, your success kit, um, the files in the team page, and the back office. Oh, you know what? One more thing. I'll just tell you what it is. Okay, the next thing, honestly, if you're not in our 4-week training group, I mean, this is like baby steps. We start a 4-week training group every single month. So every single month, I'm going to actually put the first challenge up tonight. So each week, just do them. I mean, if all else fails, if that's your only goal is to do the challenges, I'm telling you, you'll get far. If you just do the challenges, it would be shocking if you weren't silver by the end of the month, and if you weren't, if you didn't, I know you'll have your products paid for. If you just commit to doing our 4-week training and just do what those little steps say, I'm telling you, you will grow. You can't not grow. You will. Just do it. The problem is, and the difference is a lot of people don't do it. So it's up to you. Okay, so the next step is okay, we talked about training. The next thing is reaching out to people. It's pretty easy. I'll just tell you about it real quick. I won't screen share again. In our 4-week training group, and also in the files of my team page, we have something called the IPA sheet. It's actually called something else. I can't remember what the name is it, but yes, if you're not added to the training, I'll put the link up again so we get started. But there's something called an IPA sheet, okay? And IPA stands for income producing activity. So when you're doing that and you're reaching out, basically it gives you a little checklist. Do this today, do this. I still do that every single day. And if you're doing that, if you just do what's on that list, that means you're reaching out to 25 people a week. So just follow those little steps. Oh, thank you, my daily action stack. Okay. So when I reach out to people, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. Number one, the old school telephone, okay? And the easiest thing you can do is just get them to, don't call your best friend and say, oh my goodness, I just signed Plexus. It's the best thing there ever was. These people are growing. I'm going to get a free Lexus. People are being healed. Miracles are happening. Because your best friend's going to tell you, oh my goodness, you are in a scam. That is a pyramid scam. That is snake oil, whatever. They're going to discourage you. This is what happens. This is why people don't stay with it. They don't know how to talk yet. They don't know how to do it yet because they just joined. There's something awesome about having passion, obviously, but you've got to know how to do it in a professional way, just like you would for anything else. So let's say you went to the doctor, and this doctor has never once been to medical school, and they've never performed surgery before, but they're really passionate, and they really, really want to help you, and they really believe in it. Do you want that doctor operating on you? Of course not. So that is kind of the same thing. Now, obviously, this is a lot easier than being a doctor, but I'm telling you, you need to learn skills just like you would in any other job if you want to be successful. So that's part of training, that comes into it. So the easiest, and this is my challenge for all of you this week, the easiest thing you could do is just bring them to your sponsor. So this is what I did. Okay, I'm just learning. This is something I'm kind of excited about. I think you would want to learn. I think you'd love these products. I'm just asking you as a friend to please come and just hear my friend Amy's story. That's all I'm asking. Or I really want your opinion on this. I'm loving this and I'm excited about it. I want to do this with you, but I'm still learning. Can you hear my friend's story? And get them on the phone with your sponsor. Get them on your phone. Every Tuesday night and Thursday night at 8:30 Eastern Time, we have something called testimony time. All it is us sharing our stories. And of course, if you bring a guest, we will talk to them. about, whatever you want us to talk about. Or maybe you have a friend and they're real shy and they don't want to do that, then get them on a phone call with your sponsor or with somebody with a similar story. Just today, I've had 3 different people ask me to share my story about my migraines. And I'm happy to do that. So you can do that. Say, hey, Amy, I've got a friend. She's got migraines. Will you share her story? I'm going to tell you, my very best friend for 2 years, no matter how successful I was, she'd always say, oh, I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad you got your Lexus. I'm really happy for your family. But she would not hear it about the product. She wouldn't even listen to me because even though she trusted me as a friend, she just didn't trust the company and just, I don't know, didn't want to hear it from me. So you know what got her? I finally said, listen, I just want you to hear my friend Laura's story. She has very similar issues that you had with your story, with your stomach. Can you just hop on and hear her story? That's all I'm asking. Give me 10 minutes, please. And then if it's not for you, I'll never ask again. Just that's what I'm asking of you. And guess what happened? Laura and her had like the same problems. She tried it. She loves the products. And she's feeling better. Obviously. So just that is the easiest thing you can do. And we're going to learn about this in our trainings. Bring people to your upline. Does that sound scary? Can you do that part? Like ask them, will you just come on and hear my friend's story? I want your opinion. I really care about what you think. I want your opinion on this. If you do it that way, instead of trying to explain stuff that you're not sure about yet, I'm telling you that's going to be the easiest thing you could do. So Tuesday night at 8:30, we're going to do Tuesday night and Thursday night, but this Tuesday, I want you to commit to invite 10 people. If you invite 10 people, most likely, especially if you're just starting out, 2 or 3 will join. So, and there's a couple ways you can invite them. Do not just don't do this. Do not put 50 people in a group chat. Don't do that. That's the worst thing ever to do. Because who gets put in a big group chat and like you got like so-and-so left, so-and-so left. And then I always feel so bad. I'm always like, thanks. I'm really proud of you for working. And I get out. Like whatever it is. Like don't put people in a group chat. Now, if you want to put one person in a group chat with your sponsor, hey, Sally, I just wanted to reach out to you real quick. I wanted you to hear my friend Julie's story. That might be okay, but I'd probably get their permission first, both people's permission. I do chats like that all the time. So that's awesome. It's like a 3-way call. But whatever it is, just get your people either on a call or on a call with your sponsor or in a group chat with your sponsor. Just get a third-party validation. That's going to be the easiest way, okay? So that's reaching out to people. So you could call them on the phone. You can go, what I did, I'll just tell you, if somebody was on Facebook at the same time as me, they were getting a message. And I didn't think, and I did, I'll tell you, in the very beginning, I thought to myself, oh, this person's thin, they don't need it. Oh, this person seems happy, they don't need it. Oh, you know what? You don't know what people are going through. You don't know. There was a girl, she's gorgeous. She seemed like that Facebook perfect happy life. Super tiny, didn't seem to have any need at all. And she kept liking all of my stuff. And especially if somebody likes my stuff, I would send them a message. But with her, I'll be honest, she intimidated me a little bit. And I didn't think she would be interested. So one day I got off my pride and I said, you know what? Hey, I noticed you like my posts. Do you want some information? That's all I said. And she was like, yes, actually, I read your thing about getting off the soda addiction and I cannot stop drinking Diet Cokes and I feel miserable all the time. Do you think you could help me with that? I was like, what? Oh, I have no idea actually, because I was just starting. I was like, I don't know, but let me ask my friend Amber and see, let me see. And then I would find a testimony. I was like, oh my goodness, yes, look, all these other people had success with it. You might as well try it. You get your money back. And so that's what happened. And then she loved it and she stopped getting headaches and she started feeling good and she lost weight even though she didn't need to. But anyway, so you don't know who needs it, okay? So reach out to everyone. And my thing is now, no man left behind. If they don't want it, they could tell me no. People will ignore you. Just decide right now you're not going to get your feelings hurt. They're not rejecting you. They're rejecting the company, like the product, and they might come back later. So just reach out. That's all. Just reach out and just ask. Be casual. Can I send you information? I think you'd be awesome because you're so friendly. Think of something genuine. So we'll learn. If you're in the training group, we're going to talk more in detail about that. Okay, so train yourself, reach out to people. The next thing is follow up. Okay, I was and am the queen of follow up. Okay, so if somebody has asked you for information, or or said yes, you can send them information, or you sent them a sample, it is your job to follow up with them. If you got a new customer or a new ambassador, you are a leader. It's your job to follow up with those people. So when I say that, like, so what I would do, I'm just gonna tell you, I'm not organized. You've got to find your own way. There's like, go to YouTube and look Plexus follow up system. If you're very organized and you whatever. Me, what I would do, I'd go on my phone, I'd go in my group chat, I'm in my Facebook chats, and I would go back like 5 days, and I would just start reading conversations, and I would make sure that I would just, hey, did you get that email I sent? Or what do you think about that? Or, I would say, didn't you love that testimony? I bet you could, or who could you relate to? Or something like that, whatever it is. If you get a guest on your phone call, or testimony time, by all means, reach out to them. When I one time was interested in essential oils, I put it on my Facebook. I said, I am looking for essential oils. Who does oils or whatever? I had 26 people. I do. Here's my website. All these people messaged me and sent me whatever. So I picked one girl, and that is like, okay, she seems like she knows what she's doing. I'm gonna chat with her, and. So I didn't even mess with any of the rest of them. I just talked with one girl. We had a really great conversation. I went through every process, and for some reason, I don't know why or how or what, but I ended up not ordering. I don't know why, but I just didn't order. And I thought, oh, maybe I should talk to my husband. It's kind of more expensive than I thought. I don't know. And I just didn't do it. That girl never ever followed up with me. But I actually really wanted the oils. It's just something I never thought about. So when I would see her at church, she was a sign language lady. I would see her up there, like during the service. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta get those oils. Okay. She never ever followed up with me, and actually no one did. If anyone else would have messaged me like, hey, I would probably went with them, but she did not follow up with me. And so I would think about it, but then after church was over, I forgot again. So it wasn't until like 4 months later, when my son had a sniffle, I was like, oh man, I keep thinking about those oils. And another girl had just happened to make a post about it, and totally different girl. This is probably bad. Sorry, I'm being honest here. But I was like, oh, real quick. I was just like, hey, I was interested in oils before, and I ended up buying from that girl. And she is still the queen of follow-up, that one. So she's always tagging me in her oil stuff. But anyway, my point is, the other one lost the sale because she didn't follow up, and I kept forgetting. So follow up, follow up, follow up. I follow up like a mad woman until they tell me no. If somebody outright says, no, thank you, I'm not interested, by all means, no problem. If you know someone who is, blah, blah, blah. But follow up. You can do testimonies, send testimonies when we get a special, some kind of promotion. Or sometimes it's just, hey, I saw that your son made a home run. That was so cool. Sometimes it's just engaging in a conversation. Mix it up, whatever it is, keep in touch with those people and keep following up, keep reaching out to them. Okay, so the very last thing is build your passion. And personally, this is probably the most important one, because I'm telling you, the other stuff, you're not going to do it if you don't believe in it. If you don't want to do it and you don't believe in it and you're unsure, you're not going to do it. And the thing is, also, people can tell if you believe in it or not. So you have to believe in it. And how do you believe in it? Well, one, I could tell you, if you study what the products do and you learn about our company, you learn how we get paid, and you learn what the products do for people, you will believe in it. You will, 100,000,000%. There's no way you can't read the testimonies and study our products and not believe in these products. It's amazing. So everybody should be, and if you're not in, please message your upline or message me. You should be in a testimonial group. When somebody joins your team, you should add them to a testimony. So we have 2 testimonial groups. One is called Blessed by Testimonies. It's a Susie McCall's group. And another one is called the Journey to Gems Testimony. Those are the 2 testimony groups that I'll add people to. Add them, because sometimes just that'll pop up on their feed, and they'll just, one, it's an awesome resource, because if you know somebody with like fibromyalgia, you can go there and search. And then secondly, it's going to go on news feed and sometimes, and they'll keep seeing these testimonies, and that will spark people's interest, and it'll spark your interest. So read testimonies. Do they still on Wednesday nights? They typically send. For some reason, I feel like it hasn't been in there a little bit, but they'll send an opportunity call. So when I'd listen to it every single week, and when I'd listen to those opportunity calls, I'm telling you, I'd be in tears. I remember like crying like a weirdo in the grocery store because I was listening as I was grocery shopping, and I was just like, oh my goodness, this is life changing. And I see Stacy laughing at me because she would make fun of me when I said I'd cry over these, but then we'd get on testimony time, and sometimes we break down and cry because there's two reasons we cry. One, because we hear this testimonies, and it's like it's life changing for people. I mean, the quality of life, the medications that are off, you can't help it. But the second reason why I end up crying is because we have a guest, and sometimes the guest will feel free to open up, and they'll tell you how deeply they're hurting and how miserable they are, and we know what that was like because we used to be miserable, and we know we have something that can help them, and you're just like, oh my goodness, do whatever it takes, do that, you need these products. So I believe so deeply in these products. I mean, nobody can shake my belief. And if you get somebody to send you some crazy article about, whatever, reach out to us, because I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, or really, okay, I won't say 10 out of 10, 9.8% nights out of 10, um, it's just made up stuff. They're not even like, there's no valid thing. There is a crazy lady named Betty whose sole purpose is to bring down plexus. Anyway, long story short, but a lot of stuff, she literally just blatantly makes up lies and puts these articles on Facebook. And so when somebody tells me, hey, I read plexus is dangerous for this, that, and the other, I'm always like, oh my goodness, I give it to my kids. Please send me your article so I could look at it myself. And then typically it's that crazy lady Betty, but it's nothing that, one, I had my pediatrician look at the ingredients for my kids, and they've been taking them 2 years and they're healthy as can be. But most of the time it's like not even valid stuff. Like Betty makes up ingredients and says it in their products. They're not even in our products. Like they're not even there. Like look at the ingredients. So just saying, most of the time it's not founded. So another way to build your passion, and I'll end with this, is how you need to grow your belief in yourself and in network marketing as well. We have the best products on earth. We've got the best compensation plan. We've got the most incredible corporate leaders. I mean, truly, you've made a really, really good decision to be with Plexus. You've got to believe that, though. And the way you're going to do that, get some books on network marketing. So if you're in our 4-week training, we typically we suggest GoPro. That's a really good book to start with. I love, you guys are going to, if you know me at all, you'll know I love Dani Johnson. Love Dani Johnson so much. She has a book called First Steps to Wealth. It's amazing. And then I love, another really easy read is Sarah Robbins' Rock Your Network Marketing Business. I mean, read the first chapter to that book and you'll be like, this is the most brilliant business model on the planet. I know it has a bad reputation and some people don't love it, but I'm telling you, it's because they don't understand what it really is. So, I mean, it is brilliant. I mean, where else could I be making over $10,000 a month with my husband home full time and driving a free Lexus, and getting to help lots and lots of people. You know what I mean? Like, where else can you? I heard this lady at our convention, she's a diamond, and she said, where else can you make as much as a brain surgeon working 20 hours or less a week in your yoga pants, like from your cell phone? I mean, seriously, my motto is, if somebody could do it, that means it's possible, and I'm going to do it too. So if I'm not doing it, if something's not working for me, it just means I need to increase a skill, and that's really what it comes down to, because we have the same products and we have the same compensation plan. The only factor that's different between you and me is you and me. So the only difference between me and a diamond ambassador is they may have a skill that I haven't had, or you know what I mean? Like, I just keep going, and I will be a diamond. Like, there's not even an ounce of doubt in my mind. And if you want to be a diamond, you can. If you want to just cover your products, you can. My very best friend, Janelle, she's not on here, but you know what? I'm like, Janelle, come on. First of all, she's like brilliant. She got like 1,500 on her SAT. Like, she is like 100 times smarter than I am. Let me just tell you that. And I'm like, Janelle, if I can do this, you can do this. But you know what she said? Hey, I've got my products covered. I love the products. I've got them paid for. That's all my only goal. Like right now, I love teaching and I love being a mama of my 2 babies, and that's my goal. And you know what? I have to respect that. Not everyone has the same goal as I do, and that is okay. So I love her, and I keep telling her I want her to do it with me because I want her in Hawaii with me. How fun would that be, Stacey, right? Like,
That'd be awesome.
I know, Stacey and Janelle and I were all best friends in high school. So, um, but anyway, but I have to just respect that. And so, you know, if she, and the other cool thing is, I see Julie on here. Julie was a wholesale ambassador. She joined in January, but she didn't really start sharing the products till like September or October because she wasn't ready yet, and that's okay too. You can go at your own pace. So whatever your goal is, you decide you want it and go for it. Seriously, go for it. So train yourself, reach out to people, follow up, build your passion, and you do that by reading books on network marketing. Um, and learning what our products are, read testimonies. So that is all I have. And I did not make it in 30 minutes. I never do. I try. That's always my goal. But since I went over anyway, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.